There's it.
What? You stopped singing?
Yeah, because I realised the next line could be considered to be a racist.
I'll do it.
No, I won't.
Anyway.
Might get some new viewers. Dear James. Dear Popcorn Pundits.
My name's Nigel Farage.
Exactly. Would you like to come along as a guest next
Loving
week?
your podcast.
Living your work, more Chrome.
Tell you what's the introduction, the rest is bullshit.
Exactly.
Oh, that's that bit done. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Right,
After you for the
No,
pop.
do it
Go for it.
properly, Peter, please.
Popcorn Pundits, week 69.
Good number.
69.
Best number.
69.
Later.
69. 96. 69. Oh, 96 would be great, wouldn't it?
One of us isn't going to make it.
Anyway, it's your Popcorn Pundits. It's our weekly update of what's going on at the cinema. If you've been to the cinema this week, you might want to know what we thought about it. If you haven't been to the cinema for a while, this is the show to listen to because you'll be able to get a catch up of exactly what you need to watch, either at home or at the cinema.
The only reason I do this is to hear what Lawrence thought.
Yes, Peter, James, and Nikki are here to hold your hand through the harsh rain of horrible cinema viewing.
Horrible.
Yeah, because sometimes it is.
Sometimes it
it's
isn't.
Like, oh, sometimes it's less, but sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it's like.
This week was a well anticipated.
It was.
Yeah.
It was indeed. Right, should we get cracking?
What we do first?
Well, traditionally we usually go through the top 10. Then we talk about movies at the cinema. Then we look at your homework, and then we say goodbye.
Okay, let's should we start at the end and just.
This week, though, we are going to quickly talk about the film BAFTAs.
Thank you very much, producer. When are you going to slot that in?
I will probably do that after we've revealed the main films and before Peter's homework.
Right.
Did you want to talk about number 11?
Yes.
Number 11, Moana 2.
Yes.
There you go, you're welcome.
At the time of recording this,
Yes.
it is half term in the UK.
Yes.
So I reckon people will be going to watch that. So I think it will shoot back up into the top 10.
Do you reckon it's going to knock Paddington off the number 1 spot?
I don't know. It's a really tough call. Maybe.
Nothing's going to knock that off the top one.
Number 10,
You still owe me
September
£1.
5.
Yes, which I haven't seen, but I've heard amazing things about.
Well, we should add that to the what we're going to see this week section.
I
Then,
think you're
shouldn't we?
right.
I
I'm
think
going to
we
put a
should
tick next to
definitely-
that. Watch. Tick.
Okay, but you throw that away as soon as we finish the podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
So
It's
you
theatre,
normally ask me to
darling.
shred it.
It's theatre.
Okay.
Right, what's number 9?
The Brutalist.
I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not surprised. I can't imagine it being in the top 10 for a long time because it is a hard watch.
And I think it would turn a lot of people off going.
Exactly.
I now feel like you two reading out number 8 because it's got too many letters in it.
Go for it.
Chava.
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 Chava. Chava.
It's CHHAAVA.
Number
Yes.
8.
And it's number 8, and it's
It's a-
distributed by Yash Raj Films.
It's a Hindi language film. Shivari's death sparks a conflict. His son leads resistance against someone else's forces. Amid battles and intrigue, both sides face challenges in a struggle for power.
Nice.
Sorry, Siri, what does Chava mean? Does anyone know?
No.
Siri's not available at the moment.
Oh, this is disappointing. 7, Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
7.
Well, 3 or 4. Add
3
them
or
together,
4.
you got 7.
That's right.
Quick maths.
Yes,
Number
certainly.
6, A Complete Unknown. Love that film.
Great film.
Number 5, Mufasa, The Lion King.
I can imagine it's still going to bounce around during half term because of the nature of the film.
I'd imagine so too. Number 4, Heart Eyes, not the same thing applying.
Apparently not.
No.
No. But a good slasher movie, you know, I put it in that genre. I
Well,
can't remember.
it's had its week.
It's had its
It'll
week.
be gone next week.
Exactly.
Number 3, Dog Space Man.
Not the Dogman that you watched.
Not the Dog Man. This might be better. Number 2, Captain
Subjectively.
America, Brave New World. It's all subjective, James. That's the point of this podcast. If you haven't picked one thing up from this, honestly. That's what it is, isn't it?
take long for him to do this shit, didn't
This is my life lesson, isn't it? That film reviewing is subjective and I'm wrong.
Everything is
Really not.
subjective and you're always wrong.
God, did Bridget Jones come out.
It has.
Wow, who'd know?
Should we get to number 2 first?
I just did that.
He did.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, obviously he wasn't
Captain
listening to
America,
him.
Brave New
All
World.
about you, John. Number 1, Bridget Jones, colon. It's got colon. It's going to be wank. Mad about the boy.
Mad about the boy.
Oh, it's taken fucking tons already,
That
isn't
means
it?
Captain America's going to be wank as well.
Yes, it's got colon in it.
Yeah.
Well, we know it's going to be wank. Marvel's run out of steam. It's garbage.
According to my internet translator,
Yes.
Chava.
I've translated it from Hindi to English.
And?
apparently it means shade.
Ooh.
It's spelt like that.
SHADE, yeah.
No, you really are a funny guy. That is fucking brilliant. I love that.
Yep.
Why are we still on the subject that I'm a man?
No, well, I was using the
Anyway.
generic term guy.
Let's wash over that one. So that's your
Right.
top 10. You just checking
Yeah.
whether we recording.
I really panicked then. I thought because I pushed a button. I thought I fucked it.
Ah.
But anyway, it's all right. It's so far. We're okay.
Well, it's all subjective.
Well, that's not subjective. The clock is.
No, you said we're all
literally,
okay
the clock
with
is
subjective.
ticking. Oh yeah.
So there you go. That's your top 10
Oh.
at the cinema in the UK at the moment during half term. So it'd be interesting to see what difference it's going to make.
No, it's the UK top 10 this week up until it's fucking chopped it off the top.
That's how you printed it, because when I sent it to you, it had it at the
Yeah,
top.
it had a
The
top and a
15.
bottom, but normally it's got the
It's the
got the
15.
icon shitty bits at the bottom, so I don't like that. So I saved it as a
It's
photo.
screenshot.
So I saved it as a photo and then printed that photo, and it's chopped the fucking date off.
I know.
I'll never do that again.
15th.
Up until the 15th of February 2025
Yep.
in UK and Ireland.
This is my interpretation of Flight Risk.
Oh. Well, it worked as well as the
There you
film.
go, exactly. There you go.
So we went to the cinema this week and we were fortunate enough to be invited along to a Scream Unseen.
It's a preview of a film that hasn't been released yet. For those of you who don't understand what a Scream Unseen is, it's a very clever concept that our local cinema gives, where they do a screen unseen or a scream unseen. Clever play in the words there, in reference to a film that hasn't been released yet, and it gives us an opportunity to review the film and to get a preview of the film before it's released properly.
But the best thing about Screen and Scream Unseen isn't the fact that they give you 3 clues before the film.
It's not.
It's that James pretends to be smart
Every
and
time.
either asks his wife
Yes.
what they actually mean,
I don't ask her,
or
she
he
just
just makes
tells
up
me.
answers,
Oh,
and
yeah,
then when
that-
Nikki says no, that's not right, he says that's what I meant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Talking
That-
of which, would you like the clues we had for this week?
Oh,
Yes, please.
Before you reveal which one. Okay, so the first clue was Abraham's barber shop.
Right.
Go on then.
Abraham's barbershop. I presume that's to do with Shop of Horrors? No?
Okay. Clue 2 is from the Alps.
Okay.
Go on then. What's the...
Nope. No idea.
and clue 3 is 9/12, as in, what's it called? Backslash.
Yeah, 9/12. Okay, no idea. So give us the answers and give us the
Okay, so clue number 1,
yes.
which is Abraham's barbershop, a 17th century Flemish artist, Abraham
How did you not know that?
Teniers, contributed to the monkey scene, in brackets, Singery,
Right.
artistic movement, monkeys depicted imitating human behaviour and acts.
Right. They should have Thai food tea bags there, shouldn't they?
From the Alps, wasn't it PJ Tips?
Oh yeah, it was.
From the Alps,
Yeah.
Japanese toy company Alps
Yeah.
started producing mechanical cymbal-playing chimp toys in 1950s.
Right, of course. Wait, that's the tip of my tongue. That one. That fact was
Yeah, and what about 9/12?
9/12. It's obviously a date, isn't it? That's the date that the monkeys were born in.
It is a date.
Right.
So the monkey is the 9th of the 12th year cycle of the animals that appear in the Chinese zodiac.
Oh, because the year of the snake at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, but they were born in the year of the monkey.
I mean, if you look at my dating life, every year's the year of the snake.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
what film was it?
So the film
Not
was.
the year of the tiger.
It's been mentioned quite a few times already. It was.
Show us your monkey.
It was the Stephen King written The Monkey.
Yeah.
From a short story by Stephen King. Now this has been heavily not, I would say advertised is the wrong word, teased is the best way to describe this.
This has been a really interesting trailer journey for me because they've changed the trailers quite a lot.
They have.
And when they first came out, I said to you, that looks absolute horseshit. How on earth can they make a film about a mechanical drum beating monkey. And as the trailers kind of progressed nearer the movie coming out,
Yes.
I was getting juicier and juicier about this.
You were.
And until the point where I was super excited last week and it turned out to be Heart Eyes, and I was just like, no! We're going to be the monkey!
I want my monkey and I want it now.
Yes.
Exactly. So Peter, would you like to give us the details in reference to directors and stars in this movie, please?
No, not really. So it stars Theo James.
James.
I didn't write anything more than that. So if you don't know who Theo James is, he's the really annoying actor who does the new Range Rover Discovery advert.
And also the Gentleman Television series.
The Gentleman
right?
Television, yeah, but I was just getting to that bit first. Yeah. Yes, it's him that does that.
Yep.
And it's Osgood Peasgood or something who directed it, isn't it?
Osgood Perkins.
That's what I said.
That's correct.
Yeah,
Osgood Perkins, whose father was...
Mr. Perkins.
Sue Perkins.
No. Perkins from Psycho.
Okay, brilliant. Didn't know that.
Didn't you know that?
Did not know
His
that.
dad played Psycho.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, how cool is that?
There you go.
Oh, I
So
like
that's
it even more now.
That's where all the connections come in.
That's all right. 10. That's Peter's first 10 in a while.
As well. So
Yes, James.
this film has been teased for quite some time.
Yeah.
The trailer was giving more and more away the closer you got to the release of this movie. It's advertising as a classic comedy / horror.
Comedy / horror.
Exactly.
That's exactly what advertising
and that's
itself as.
exactly what you get.
Literally, the last set of trailers basically told you the whole film.
Yes.
Yeah. This is the simplest of plots.
Yes. Unfortunately, in retrospect, I feel that the trailer gives too much away. Gives far too many deaths away from in reference to what goes on in the film. The film adds a lot more juice and a lot more layering to what you see in the trailers. But a lot of the killings are seen in the trailers, unfortunately.
Yeah, you either needed more killings in the film or less killings in the trailer.
I agree with you completely.
Yeah.
So is it a horror or I'm trying to think of mixing
Homedy.
or a homedy?
Homedy. I think it's homedy.
I think it's a horror homedy.
Horror homedy. Okay, so what we have here is you've got the story of two twin brothers played by Theo James, and the start of this film depicts their father trying to get rid of this monkey in a pawn shop. Not the sort of pawn shop that you go to, a pawn shop where you buy and sell stuff. Okay, so that was good, isn't it?
I was just trying to think of a top shelf joke, but I didn't come up with anything.
The only reason he knows is because he follows you in there.
Exactly, I'm usually the person serving you. Anyway,
Can't carry them all on my own, can I?
You'll never fit that, sir. Oh, lengthways, that's fine. Anyway, the film starts of the father of Theo James's character trying to get rid of this monkey, and he walks into a pawn shop and goes, "I really need to get rid of this. I don't want my money back. I just want to return this thing." And he said, "What is it?" He said, "You can't return toys." And he said, "It's not a toy." He said, "What is it?" He said, "It's impossible to describe what this is."
Yeah.
And that pretty much depicts what this film is, really, because it's impossible to describe where this thing is from, how it does what it does. All we know is that every single scene, somebody dies really, really horribly.
Yeah, or very, very comically.
And this, I think this depicts the whole entire film. This film really is on a pedestal of possibly one of the best movies you'll see. That the directors obviously come up with horrific, tremendously amazing death scenes,
And had nowhere to put them.
and then decided just to make introduce every single one in the funniest possible way that he possibly can. Am I going in the wrong direction?
No, I mean that's basically it.
That's pretty much it.
You pretty much turn up at a film, and all you need to know is this monkey is indestructible.
That's right.
If you throw it away, chop it up, stick it down a well,
That's right.
blow it up, decimate it with a flamethrower.
Yep.
It's still going to come back.
Yeah.
It's basically either the devil,
Yep.
or it's either possessed by the devil,
Or it's working for the devil.
it's working for the devil.
Exactly.
That's basically where we are, and the plot tries to be no more than that.
Not at all.
There's not really any storyline.
No.
It is just it's a mechanical monkey that attaches itself to these two twin brothers, and just fucking loves to kill people.
It does.
In really horrific and barbaric ways.
And beautifully, I mean, really inventful, really horrendous ways. And what I really appreciate about this film, the lack of CGI in this film. There's a little bit of CGI because obviously there's some things that are, they're going to be either really expensive to make or it was easier and quicker to make it that way. Like this police after that horrific death scene.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of practical horror in this movie, which really sort of got me.
It feels very Stephen King, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And even the plot is very Stephen King. The casting is very small. You've got a lovely cameo by Eli Wood.
Yeah.
Who plays the new stepfather of Theo's ex-wife, and he plays this fantastic sort of over the top sort of cartoon character that as far as he's concerned, he's got the answer to all marriages by just embracing the vibe of parents. You've got for me the only fly in the ointment with this film, because it is a gore fest, a fantastic sort of it's like a roller coaster of horror that continues to roll and it goes it's very fastly paced. However, the only fly in the ointment for me personally is that ever so often, because you get this ever so often when you get an actor playing twin brothers. Ever so often, it's obvious that they're not twin brothers, and it's obvious that the movie's been spliced in a certain way to have them set up together. And I also felt that the second brother, who you see later on in the film, the character was a lot weaker than the first character, I felt. What's your thoughts?
I don't think there's any point picking holes in the twin brother, back of the head, front of the head, type shot things. Because if we're gonna pick this film in like that type of detail, I think there's quite a lot that we could pull apart.
The lack of story, the lack of explanation, and so on and so. Yeah.
So how about some references? I was thinking of. The film with the flight where the plane explodes and the kids don't get on it.
So you're 100%.
Final Destination.
So what? And that is definitely on top 10 of my list of films of references towards this film. So if you like your Final Destination franchise movies, you're going to love this film, mainly because of the horrific ways that people die all the way through this movie. Now, what Final Destination doesn't do, it doesn't have that comic element that.
It does a touch, but not to this degree. So the number of times in this film where someone was about to die or have just died,
yes,
and the method or the result of their death is 10 times the volume that I was expecting it to be. I mean, like the woman so in the trailer, there's a woman who dives into an electrified swimming pool, and
you don't see the aftermath on the trailer, thankfully.
But it's just,
and you're rewarded with a fantastic scene.
So good.
It is so good.
It's so good.
It is so good. And what's beautiful about the way that they've directed the characters in this film is that every time somebody horrifically dies, everybody around them, they go, Jesus Christ. It's never a cliche horror depiction of what's going on. It is like a real life reaction.
But then also the actors in this film, the characters in this film rather, they barely react to these mega gruesome deaths.
Yeah.
And there's a tiny reaction when their mother passes away.
Right.
But beyond that, I mean, people are literally getting blown to dust. And there's no reaction whatsoever.
I think possibly one of the finest reactions in this film is the priest.
Oh yeah.
To me, almost there's always a character I feel that always plays the audience, and I think he's the closest to the character that depicts the audience, where he'll come on because obviously there's lots of people dying, so there's lots of funerals, and you see him ever so often, and he'll just come up to the pedestal and he'll just go, bloody hell. Oh my God. And you feel that way sometimes. It is exhausting sometimes, the amount of sort of relentless killing in this movie. It just keeps going on and on and on and on and on.
Yeah. So in the trailers, it kind of describes it as inspired by a Stephen King short story.
Yes.
And it does exactly that. This is basically just a catalogue of killings.
Yes.
And nothing more than that, really. I mean,
it's a compilation of killings.
There's no beginning, middle, or end.
Nope.
It just kind of plods along, killing the fuck out of people.
Exactly. Now, it's also directed by the same director as Longlegs. And Longlegs, if you like Longlegs and you're expecting to get the same level of creepiness in Monkey Man, the monkey, you're not going to get this.
No.
Because the monkey was, although it was funny ever so often in certain places, but only because you were laughing through sheer sort of creepiness and terror. Whereas in this movie, you are laughing because it is funny. It's as simple as that.
I think this is a comedy for a horror purist.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I think that's what it is. It's for people who have, like yourself, who are absolutely horror obsessed. This is just an hour and 38 minutes of comedic horror deaths.
And you can see a lot of deaths coming, and then it's a surprise ones that make you chuckle as well. And along that sort of lines, you're 100% right. Final Destination is definitely one, but also the likes of Cabin in the Woods a couple of weeks ago, because it's very self-aware in that respect as well. Because they know that they know that they're pulling the audience in and they're having a laugh with the audience.
Yeah, and that's basically what it does. That's what it says on the tin.
Okay, so I think we don't need to go too much more into details. Should we get some details before we give a score?
Some details?
He means facts.
Yes, please. I love some facts.
Okay,
and if you've got any extra details, that'd be great.
There isn't that many. There's only 3 facts on here. Mm-hmm. So before I do the facts, I'm going to ask you a question.
Ooh.
Do you think it is Chainsaw Award worthy?
Definitely.
Peter?
Oh, I don't know what all the categories are for the Chainsaw Award, so I'm just going to say yes.
Okay, that'll make James happy. So, it's based on the short story from Stephen King's Skeleton Crew. And did you notice something different about the monkey? Traditionally, they normally bang cymbals.
And this one he bangs a drum. Yes.
Yeah. Do you know why?
Was it a copyright issue?
I believe it was.
Okay, so according to the director, the decision to have the monkey bang the drum instead of cymbals was due to the rights of the cymbal banging version owned by the Walt Disney Company, as the toy had appeared as a character in Toy Story 3, which is ironic because the cymbal monkey in Toy Story 3 was there in the first place because its director is a fan of Stephen King.
Wow.
Oh, that's quite frustrating.
Yeah, so they brought the monkey in because he liked the story,
Stephen King, yeah.
But they wouldn't allow them to use the monkey
in the story.
Although it was, that's a bit weird, isn't it?
I mean, the thing I found unusual about the monkey was it killed everyone. I mean, rather than the fact it was banging
on and just one slight, I don't know if it's a spoiler or not, so I apologise if it is. At the babysitter's funeral,
yes,
it's revealed
say about the babysitter dying.
Everybody dies.
Don't tell Mum the babysitter's dead. Her name is revealed as Annie Wilkes.
Right.
Why does that name sound familiar?
Annie Wilkes. No idea, I'm sorry.
So this is the
Phone
name. Pardon?
Does he want to phone a friend?
No.
This is the same name as Kathy Bates' character from Misery in 1990, which was also written by Stephen King.
It was, yes.
Who wrote the short story, obviously, that this film is based on.
That's right, it's starring James Caan as a novelist stuck in bed.
Yeah, getting his legs smashed with a tight
That was a crap one, and it's even worse in the book. She saws his feet off in the book.
Is she?
Yeah. Mind you, that was quite brutal with the big hammer, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
It wasn't very nice.
Oh, it wasn't a typewriter, was it?
No,
I'm getting things confused.
Well, she used a typewriter to knock on the head later on, after he moved her penguins.
Typewriter would be too sore, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Depends which
about cutting his
type.
feet off.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
It's okay.
There you go. So, what scores are you giving it, Petey Pete?
Oh, I forgot about scores. Can you come back to me? No, don't. I'll go first. I'm going to give it a flat 7.
Really?
Yeah.
I bloody loved it. I really, really loved it, and I'm going to drag all my friends and family to go and see it this weekend because it obviously hasn't been released yet.
Yes.
I'm giving it a 9.5.
Are you really?
Bloody yeah.
Oh,
honestly,
you know what? That's really interesting because I thought you were really disappointed when we left.
No, I was keeping my powder dry.
Oh, well, okay, so my description of it being a horror knobs comedy is exactly right.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
I felt it lacked a little bit of plot and storyline.
100%.
But it's definitely a laugh fest. Maybe 7's too mean.
Yeah. Well, you stick to your guns, darling.
You've submitted that score now, so...
What does that make it?
Excuse me, I can do whatever I like in this podcast.
8.2.
8.2. So we haven't made it to the
Who's
board.
my boss? Why are you suddenly my bosses? I'm not allowed to change my mind.
Oh
yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
It's 6.9 on IMDb.
Okay,
So
that'll
actually,
change.
Peter, your score, as pretty much always, you're pretty much on point.
Well,
yes.
You're
I
normally
am
quite on
the
point with
people, aren't I?
IMDb.
You are the people.
I am the people.
I look like I'm
Citizen Pete.
supporting the people.
Yeah, you're painting the people.
In my sort of slightly communist sort of look.
He's going to chop his ear off in a minute.
Do you think that's a communist look?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think it is?
100%.
I think it's like a decorator.
Anyway, so let's crack on. So that's the Monkey app, and that's going to be released this weekend. Go and see it. I recommend go and see it. If you like a good horror and you want to see blood coming out of people's eyes, go and see
blood
it.
coming out of people's anything and
Yes.
everything.
Yes.
It's a great comedy. Go and see it.
Go and see lots of people screaming.
Do go and see it.
Right. What's next, PT?
Well, you sent me some homework last week.
Yes, I
Oh.
did. Oh,
Are we skipping everything else that we've mentioned?
See what happens when you interrupt the producer? It all goes to shit again.
well,
James.
let's go back to the boss.
Should we just?
So we can either talk BAFTAs, or I can let you know what I thought of Bridget Jones and Maria.
Oh, well,
no,
you're
let's
in
just talk-
charge.
let's just talk about my homework.
You're in charge.
It's up to you. Okay, we'll do Bridget Jones, then Maria, then BAFTAs.
And then homework.
Do we have
And then
any
Peter's homework.
audience reviews this week
No.
or not?
No.
Okay, let's have your Bridget Jones.
Okay, so Bridget Jones, for me,
Yes, so this is Bridget Jones,
Mad
Colon.
About-
Mad About the Boy. It's the third instalment of her life.
It's
Go for
actually
it.
the fourth.
It's the
isn't it?
fourth.
Shows how much I've been watching them.
Yeah.
So I'm not a massive Bridget Jones fan.
Okay.
I've never read the books.
Yeah.
Probably because of my dyslexia, but I avoid reading books sometimes. So I do like watching a film that's based on a book.
Right.
Because it means I don't have to read the book. I feel like the Bridget Jones films are one of those ones you just put on in the background while you're doing
Oh, yeah,
housework or
100%.
something. Or
When you go out.
Yeah.
It's a typical chick flick. I went for Galentine's with some of my girls. So it was quite fun we were all placing bets as to how many men would be in the cinema.
How
By
many?
themselves.
There was 12.
Wow.
Wow. By themselves?
Actually,
no.
it's quite funny because I was talking to one of my customers today who went to see it the other day, and they had the same game, and there was one man
Oh,
in
really?
their cinema. Yeah.
Wow.
I'd said 3. So it's 2 hours and 4 minutes. And actually, to be fair, it is very quickly. It goes very quickly. So it's basically about Bridget Jones now navigating her life as a widow and a single mum.
Right.
With the help of her family, friends, and former lover, Daniel.
Aw.
Comedic gold.
Which is played by Hugh Grant.
All right.
And obviously she's back to work, and then she goes on all these dating apps, which never happened when she met Mark Darcy.
Bumble.
Bumble, yeah, pretty
There you
much. It stars Renée
That's
Zellweger,
Winder.
Leo Woodall, who was in One Day. I don't know if you've seen that on Netflix.
Who? What when?
Leo Woodall plays the boy that she's mad about.
Right.
And there was a big hit series on Netflix called One Day. And
He was also in one of the White Lotuses.
Was he? I've only
Yeah.
seen one series of it, and it was very good. I really enjoyed it. I'm yet to catch
He
up
was
with
in
the
the
second.
most recent one.
Was he? That's series 2, I presume.
Correct.
I do really like him as an actor, and obviously all the usual actors and actresses are in there. And I did like that what they had done was there's a few Easter eggs in the film
Okay.
that refer back to the previous 3.
Unwrap them for us, baby. Unwrap them for us.
So in the last scene on New Year's Eve,
Yes.
Billy Darcy, who is the son,
Yes.
is wearing the same jumper as his father Mark Darcy in the first movie.
Ah.
So when he and Bridget first meet,
Yes.
he's in like a reindeer jumper.
That's right. I remember.
Yeah. And the blue cocktails and sliced oranges at the first meeting of the best friends strongly resemble the blue soup
That's right.
and marmalade from the first film's disastrous meal.
She was cooking with
With
blue string. That's right.
Ah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's just suddenly popped back into my head. That's something I didn't know I needed to remember.
And this is the only entry in the franchise directed by a man.
Interesting. Okay. And did it feel like it was directed by a man?
It felt like it was exactly the same as all the others.
Oh, fair enough then. Okay.
I'm going to give it a 7
Okay.
because I would watch it again.
Yes.
But I wouldn't sit down to watch it. I'd probably watch it while I was doing
Your ironing.
housework or no, it's not an ironing film.
Isn't it?
No, because ironing films I actually watch,
Oh,
whereas
right.
this is just on in the background.
Iron Man's the ironing film.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Okay. I also watched Maria, which
Yes.
is the one that's based on Maria Callas's life.
Oh yeah, with
Yes. We need to talk about Maria.
Angelina Jolie. And I have to obviously, I watched that at Northern Farm, which is the local arts.
Big
and
up the local arts
creative
centre.
Yeah.
centre. who obviously, as always, are amazing, and the staff were lovely.
Yes.
So I just wanted to give them a quick shout out.
Whoop, whoop.
Go Norden Farm. Whoop.
Yes.
I went with Mama and Papa Smart.
Okay.
So the three of us watched it together. I actually really enjoyed it.
Right.
It was really interesting. I didn't know too much about Maria Callas.
Okay. And does it follow her life and her ups and downs and her career?
So the very start of the film opens with her dead on the floor.
Wow.
And then it goes back a bit.
Oh, thank God.
Goes back a bit.
Yeah, that's it. It's a 2-minute film. And then it's basically how she became Maria Callas.
Right.
And then there's a point where she stops singing and why she stopped singing.
Okay.
And then she's trying to get back to singing, and she's got a lot of stresses going on in her life, and her confidence is gone, and it's how she builds her confidence back up again.
And I mean, I haven't seen an Angelina Jolie movie for quite some time. Because obviously she's had ups and downs and issues and divorces, and she's been ill and things like that. How was she?
Do you know what? I actually thought she was really good in it. It's very different to a lot of her other roles that she's played.
Mm-hmm.
I think she played it very well.
Right.
The one thing that did worry me, didn't put me off the film, was how skinny she was.
Yeah,
It's
she's
crazy. So she actually received an 8-minute standing ovation after its premiere at the Venice Film Festival.
And after seeing the film, do you think it was justified?
Yes, I do actually. I think she did amazing. She refused to be dubbed over and wished to perform her own singing. It took her 7 months of opera lessons to prepare for her role.
Wow.
And for the scenes that are set during Callas's heyday, they used about 90% of her original recording.
Wow.
And Jolie lip-synced along to this. However, her singing does come to fore during the film's final act.
Oh, right. Okay, so they use a mixture of both original and Angelina.
Yes. I really enjoyed it. For me, I would have liked if they'd have touched on her younger years a bit more, because they kind of just brushed past it. It was literally 2-3 minutes and then that's it. She's an adult suddenly and she's the famous Maria Callas.
Okay.
So it kind of, I feel like they missed out on her build up to fame.
Did you ovate her?
Did I ovate her?
Yeah.
No, I didn't, because I'd eaten lots of popcorn and chocolate-covered raisins, so I couldn't really ovate much.
Oh, was that why you were asking earlier on about the mixing of popcorn and chocolate-covered confectionery?
No, it's because one of my friends has gone to the cinema tonight and they've put M&Ms in their popcorn.
What, pre-mixed? They've gone in with their own popcorn?
Yeah.
Good.
Do people not do that? So I've
Well, no, 'cause
given,
my
I've
pocket's
given
really
that
small.
an 8.
That would last
Sorry,
a minute.
an 8.
An 8.
Nice, thank you very much.
Oh, wow. Good score.
So we've got an 8 and a 7.
Yes.
Right, there you go. So that's quite a few movies that we have reviewed so far.
Yes.
Shall we tip off the BAFTAs before we go
Yes.
into Peter's homework?
Well, funnily enough, Peter's Homework is one of the films that was nominated for BAFTAs.
That's quite clever, isn't it? So it was like segmenting that in.
It's almost like you put a bit of research into this.
I actually watched it.
What, the BAFTAs?
Yeah, the film BAFTAs. It was one of the greatest things I've ever seen. Not just because of David Tennant.
Okay.
In his little kilt. The reason was, for a few things, is watching the Americans not understand the British humour.
No.
So David Tennant came in singing 500 Miles and he was getting everyone to do the da-la-da with him, and some of the Americans just looked at him as if to say...
No idea at all.
No idea.
No.
But yeah, and then...
Not just the Americans, I can imagine the rest of the Europeans would have issues with that as well, to be honest. But I can imagine it's only the
maybe.
English thing.
And he was introducing people...
Scottish. Yes.
He was introducing people in the audience, and Timothy Chalamet was there.
Of course he was.
And he said, look, it's the person who got second place. They've sent the second place person, not actual Timothy Chalamet. And he's here with someone who's won second place in the Kardashian lookalikes as well.
Oh,
Because he
yes,
was
I
there
heard
with
about
his
this.
Kardashian girlfriend.
Yeah.
Good luck to him. That's what I say. He's living the life.
Yeah, happy days.
So all in all, the BAFTAs were amazing, were they?
They were really good, and actually, there's a few films that I now want to watch because of watching the BAFTAs. I'm really sorry, Peter, I cut you off then. What did you say?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Would you like to give us the lowdown on the highlights of the BAFTA awards?
Yeah, so the adapted screenplay, the nominees were Sing Sing, Nickel Boy, Emilia, Pérez, The Complete Unknown, and Conclave.
And who won?
Conclave.
Right.
It's not an Oscar.
Animated film. This was my favourite because Camila Cabello, the singer, presented this award, and when she announced the winner, she was so excited and revealed herself as one of their biggest fans.
Right.
So it was between Inside Out 2, The Wild Robot, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul, and Flow.
Right. So who won?
Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah, well done.
Best film was won by Conclave. Peter's so excited about that.
Yes.
It's not an Oscar.
Best short animation was called Wonder to Wonder. Best short film was Rock, Paper, Scissors.
Right.
Best casting was Anora.
Right.
Children's and family film was Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul. Best cinematography was The Brutalist.
Yeah, that makes complete sense.
Best costume design was Wicked. Best director was The Brutalist. Best documentary was Superman, the Christopher Reeve story.
Haven't seen that. Have you seen that?
No.
I've heard a lot of good things
I've heard
about
a
it.
lot of very good things about it.
Best editing was Peter's favourite film, Conclave.
Right.
The EE Rising Star Award was David Johnson.
Right.
Do you recognise that name?
David Johnson.
He was in Alien Romulus.
Oh, was he?
He's the one who plays the robot brother.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So
he was very good, I thought.
I really liked him.
His change of personality halfway through the film was fantastic.
And Fellowship was won by Warwick Davis.
Good old Warwick.
Yeah, really.
I've met him once.
Have you?
Very nice guy.
Was that the height of your career?
Was it a short meeting?
Film not in English language the winner was Emilia Pérez.
Great.
Best leading actor was won by Aidan Brody.
Of course.
Best leading actress was Mickey Madison. She's
Nora.
Nora.
Yep.
Hair and makeup was The Substance.
Yes.
Original score was The Brutalist.
Right.
Original screenplay was A Real Pain.
Right.
Outstanding British contribution to cinema was something called Medi Cinema, which is actually really lovely, and I think everyone should look it up. It's a charity, and they set up cinemas in hospitals around the country.
Wow.
About 3 or 4 films a week for all the patients, and they've made spaces so the beds can be brought in and stuff.
That's
so
a great idea.
And honestly, and it's all the recent films as well.
Yeah.
And so I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I like that idea a lot.
And actually, the thing that was really lovely is they played clips about all the different hospitals it's in, and obviously there was interviews with all patients and stuff, and it was so nice because they got a standing ovation from everyone in the audience.
Good, so they should do.
Well deserved.
Well deserved.
Outstanding British film, the winner was Conclave.
Right.
Outstanding debut by a British writer, director or producer was Kneecap, which we reviewed a few weeks ago.
Yes, well done, boys.
It's a really, really great film.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was. I
can't stop listening to Kneecap as well.
Are you aren't they headlining a festival in the summer?
I think they are, yeah. I have to go and see them.
Production design, the winner was Wicked.
Right.
Sound, the winner was June the 2nd. Visual special effects, the winner was June the 2nd. Supporting actor was Kieran Culkin.
Of course. He didn't pick it up though, did he?
No, he wasn't there.
No.
And supporting actress was Zoe Saldana, who is in Emilia Pérez.
Nice, thank you very much. Right.
So there we go.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, that's your BAFTAs update. I think next week we will. I think what we'll bring to the table next week. Who we think is going to win the Oscars, and we're going to highlight what we think is going to happen in the Oscars next week.
Yeah, sure, perfect. I mean, I have to say, I am quite shocked about that. I do think Conclave won too many, and June 2 didn't win enough. But anyway, there we go.
And Wicked didn't win money either.
No, exactly.
I thought Ariana and Cynthia would win something.
I know, but they obviously didn't. These things happen. Only one person can win.
Yes.
There you go. That's how I look at these things. So, what do we do next, producer?
Well, talking of winners,
Yes.
Peter's going to review Emilia Pérez.
Right, Peter, would you like to set us up about how you watch this, when you watch this,
And why?
and then give our listeners and viewers the synopsis of the film?
Yeah, sure. So we're gonna. So you've only seen this recently as well, yeah?
I have.
So I think we should do this a little bit differently this week.
And what is?
Basically because I didn't get a chance to watch this film, so I woke up at 5:30 this morning and watched it, which when you come to say at the end of the film what day of the week would you watch this film on,
Yes.
it's not 5:30 on a Thursday morning. So so I am absolutely not surprised that this film has been nominated for awards and is winning awards. It's like nothing I've ever seen before, and I think you should contribute to this as well, James.
I agree with you.
I think we should actually consider this.
I was blown away by this film.
Yeah, I think we should consider this a review as a normal review rather than my homework, because this is quite a special and unusual film to digest, and I don't know that I've fully digested what I saw this morning, because I didn't know much about it before I started watching it. I wasn't expecting the opening scene and the first kind of 40 minutes of this film to be so musical and as a musical.
Yep.
The balance between the musical nature of this film and the storyline is jarring, because the two don't naturally feel like they're bed partners.
No.
But the way that it's put together is sensational, and Zoe Saldana is absolutely mesmerising. So I only know her really from Guardians of the Galaxy.
So do I.
And I don't think I've seen her in anything else before.
I think she. Sorry to interrupt, but I think she made a really, the way that her character is written and some of the lyrics she was given really held home about how she'd been treated as an actor. Did you not notice at the first part of the movie where she indicated that she wanted to play a black person?
Oh right, yes, yeah. Because I'm black.
Exactly.
Yes.
And it was just a throwaway line, and it just continued all the way through that. And her rapping was incredible, I thought.
Rapping, her singing, I thought was really
dancing.
good. Yeah, her dancing is absolutely insane, especially towards the end of the movie. She does dance in a red suit, which is, absolutely mesmerising. So basically, this is a film about a character called Rita, played by Zoe Saldana, who is she's a solicitor in a large law firm, and she's basically not paid very well. She's basically given shit jobs to do. She's not given any credit for any of the success that she actually creates the company. All of the glory is taken by her managers and and everything, like blah blah blah. And then she is obviously viewed by a mystery person who offers her a chance to become very wealthy.
Absolutely, yeah.
The person who suggests this to her is a Mexican drug cartel boss.
And if you think of a drug cartel boss in Mexico, and you have this completely over the top caricature in your head, and you think to yourself, no, surely they won't have the hair, they won't have the vest, they won't have the gold teeth, they won't have the tattoos. They've got everything.
They've got everything.
They've got everything you possibly want.
Yeah, even the way that she's delivered to him is so stereotypical.
Ozark.
Yeah, and yet it's still done with a musical backdrop.
I agree with you completely. What I think what this film does, it's able to keep the grittiness of a really, really dark thriller about this subject matter, and still able to inject all these songs. And you're right, jarring is exactly the right expression, because they're so out of place and they are so not expected, and they shouldn't be there, and it shouldn't be sung at this point. And
I can't remember whether the middle hour of the film. So this film is 2 hours 10.
Yep.
I can't remember if the middle hour of the film has any songs in it at all.
No, it doesn't.
I don't think it does. It's bookended by a musical.
I think you're right.
And,
if I recall,
and that's why I was trying to kind of remember when I was kind of making notes about this. I was just like, I'm pretty sure that it actually returns to a pretty gritty storyline. Yeah. Although the non-musical bit is actually the least gritty bit. It's almost like they don't soften the grit with music and songs. It's part and parcel of it, and it's a.
I mean, I don't think there's anything. I don't think we are in danger of giving anything away if we describe the subplot, what's going on, so people get their heads around what's going on. So.
She is employed.
That's correct.
By this Mexican cartel boss.
Yes, right.
Who is basically he's got to the top of his game and is basically a millionaire.
That's right.
Is very happy now to.
He's Narcos, basically, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's happy to hang up his Glock
bandana,
and and he's ready to retire. And he's come up with a plan that his retirement can be performed by him going through a transgendering operation process.
Sex change, basically.
Yeah, so he employs Rita to fake his death and find the suitable doctor, to make this transformation for him. And then we meet Emilia Pérez.
Yes.
And Emilia Pérez.
It's done so beautifully over that table as well.
It's just it's the transition is absolutely sensational. And then we also, obviously, in this film, we meet Jessie, who is Selena Gomez, played by Selena Gomez, who is...
she's amazing in this.
She is absolutely sensational.
Isn't she?
In this.
And do you know what? My only reference from her is Murders in a Building. And I thought, yeah, she's great, light-hearted. You know, it's like a throwaway line, throwaway sort of television series, which is, you know, loved by many people, and it's just bubblegum for the brain as far as I'm concerned.
She did Spring Break as well, didn't she?
I didn't see that.
You did the right thing.
She is a Disney kid.
Yeah, she's a Disney kid, but she's always had this air of her actual personality being quite dark and being quite done to by the industry.
Yeah.
And it was really wonderful to watch her sinking her teeth into a role which was not an easy role to perform. And I thought she did it with absolute aplomb. I thought she was magnificent.
I mean, my hat goes off to the producers, the directors, and everybody involved with this film, because it's such a brave film. I mean, I think the director of Brutalist summed it up when he's accepted one of his awards. He said, nobody really asked for a film that was nearly 4 hours about a Bauhaus architect, and nobody expected it to be half of it not in English and you know, purely from one angle and so on and so forth. And I would say exactly the same for Emilia Pérez. Nobody asked for a musical depicting a drug lord transgendering into this continuum with this, like, the level of action, the level of singing and dancing and story plot, and staying so true to the location where it's filmed. The lack of English language used in this film is fantastic, I think.
So obviously it's a majority of foreign language film with subtitles, but I don't know if you found the same thing, but could you follow the dialogue without reading the subtitles?
To a certain extent.
Quite a lot.
To a certain extent.
And there's quite a few times where
I didn't learn Mexican, but I know you mean.
No, but I mean, South American Spanish is a much slower version of the language anyway, but I found myself following the actual dialogue rather than reading the subtitles for quite a lot of this film, which I've never experienced that before with a foreign language film. That it was just done in a way that I could follow it really well. But I think this film. So Jacques Audiard is the director.
Yep.
This film could have been a car crash. And the fact he's navigated it to be such a well
on paper, it shouldn't work.
This should not ever have been
a concept.
Be a
joke.
It shouldn't have been a concept. No one should ever have come up with this idea of a film. And the fact that he's delivered it in a way which is, it's a long film. It's a post 2 hour movie.
That's right.
And it's delivered so incredibly beautifully and just so
I'm so
addictively.
pleased you like it. I would say, well, when I was actually told about this film, because I knew nothing about this film at all, nothing about it.
You knew the kind of general plot line.
To a certain
that's
extent.
the same as me, and I knew the green girl was in it. Other than that, I knew nothing.
I was kind of washing over it to a certain extent. I wasn't ignoring it, but I was definitely. And one of my clients turned around and he said, I was explaining Dogman to him, and he went, if you like Dogman, you should definitely watch Emilia Pérez movie. I went, perfect, we'll swap movies. You'll watch Dogman, I'll watch Emilia Pérez, and we'll compare notes. And I went home that night, and I made a really nice korma curry. I sat down, and I was getting everything prepared. Sophie, my wife, walked in, and I said, look, I've got a film. I said, I don't know anything about it, but let's watch this. Let's go to completely blind. And within the first 3 minutes, they started singing, and I looked and went, it's a musical. And she went, yes, it's a musical. And she knew all about the film already. But hats off to them. Massively hats off to them.
Yeah, it was really, really good. In fact, it's a film I'm probably going to watch again this week, because I watched it at the worst
think you're right.
time.
Before we give scores, would you like to give us any facts, please?
Yes, so the director, which Peter said his name beautifully. How do you say it?
Jacques Audiard. I don't know if it's correct, but it just sounds nice.
If you say it with enough confidence, you go away with it.
It sounds better with any attempt I would have done. So he actually worked as an assistant editor on several movies, including The Tenant, which is 1976 film directed by Roman Polanski.
Wow.
Just thought I'd throw that in there.
Okay.
When it won the award for Best Picture, Musical or Comedy at the 2025 Golden Globe ceremony, director Luca Guadagnino, whose film Challengers was also in contention, walked out of the room.
No.
Apparently so.
Oh, that's a bit petty, isn't it? You turn into a competition just because you don't win, you don't walk off just because you don't like the person who's won it.
Real Madrid didn't turn up to the Ballon d'Or.
I know what you were talking a different language to me.
That's
So one country didn't turn up to...
So there was one player who their club thought should have won the Ballon d'Or.
This
and
is
he
football?
Didn't. This is is football.
Okay.
And Rodri from Man City won it. So the whole team didn't go to the Ballon d'Or competition
I don't know what
ceremony.
the Ballon d'Or is.
It's the best footballer of the year award.
Okay.
Basically.
Okay, well done, footballers.
The Academy received backlash for this film's 13 Oscar nominations due to the controversial portrayal of Mexican culture, grammatical errors in the spoken Spanish, and the use of artificial intelligence to enhance the lead actress's singing voice, and the offensive representation of trans people in the film.
Right. I still think it was a brilliant film.
So are these all pre-AI strike movies then that we've been watching, this and the Brutalist? Were these all kind of made before people started protesting about AI?
No, I
in
think
film?
they're afterwards. I think you probably find that they're afterwards. You probably find that a few things were settled. Maybe.
So Jacques Audiard said he did not study Mexico while writing this film. He said he already knew a little bit about the country and it was enough for him. He does not speak Spanish either. It was never explained who translated the screenplay from French to Spanish and English for him.
Okay.
So that might be why there's a few issues with
Well, I think the whole feel of the movie worked rather than individual details with it.
Yeah.
So then,
Yep.
okay, Petey McPete.
Yeah.
What's your score?
It's 9.1.
Yeah, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. I'm giving it a 9.2.
Yeah, it's
It's just groundbreaking filmmaking, isn't it?
it's
I think this is the year so far of the musical. If you think about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And it's opened my eyes.
And I'm not a musical fan, but I have watched some bloody brilliant stuff.
I know.
Yeah.
It's bonkers, isn't it?
It has been absolutely bonkers.
Absolutely bonkers.
But
well done.
That makes it
Yeah,
9.1.
Yep.
So not doing too badly. Out of interest, would you change it at all?
It makes it 9.2 because we round up.
No,
Yeah.
9.2 then.
Sorry, yeah, it's important because it goes on the board.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what to change. I need to watch
No.
it again.
You don't have to. would you?
No, I don't think. I personally don't.
No, I think anything that gets over 9 is pretty much spot on, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Nice.
And I think it's a great shame. And we'll talk about this next week. We'll go about the Oscars. Obviously, it's been tainted with reports of the lead actress who went through the transitional change herself about historical tweets that she made in the past. And what's annoying me slightly, reference to the Oscars this year particularly, is the smear tactics and the it's the political and the scaremongering that happened within the different factors trying to get their team to win the Oscars, and they're quite happy just to slag off everybody else rather than just going, is this performance any good, is this filming any good, has this production been any good? But no, what they're doing is they're going, this person did this 10 years ago.
But do you know what?
What's that?
I mean, film reviewing is subjective. It's just
Exactly.
It's just like they should just get on with it.
Exactly. They shouldn't be talking about tweets from 20 years ago.
They shouldn't.
Exactly. Anyway.
It has a score of 5.5 on IMDb.
Well, we don't care.
72% on Rotten Tomatoes, but it is available to watch on Netflix.
Good.
Yeah,
we recommend it.
Yeah, that's a really surprisingly low score.
Isn't it?
I wonder why that got such a low score.
Anyway, yeah, but it is. I mean, let's face it. If you were to turn around to any one of our friends and say, "Would you like to see a film about a transgender a Mexican drug dealer?" and it happened to be musical for 2 hours 10 minutes, we'll probably get a smack in the mouth.
Our friends are fucking idiots.
Hi!
Especially you, Leo Miles. Lawrence is an idiot.
Well,
How to alienate all of us.
he's a week behind at the moment. However, Leo and Lawrence have both said after your review, they will be watching Cabin in the Woods.
Ah.
So hopefully next week we'll get some reviews from Leo and Lawrence.
Classic
for
film.
Cabin in the
Classic
What
film.
date is next Thursday?
Woods. I want to say the 28th.
I think you're probably right.
No, it's the 27th.
Right.
Okay, brilliant. I think Leo Miles, prepare yourself because I think we're going out. So why don't you come and actually do your review live on the podcast next week?
Right. That's a live invitation to a podcast for next week. So there you get it. So we're giving it 9.2. Peter and I agree, and I'm so delighted. I was really quite concerned you're going to come and go, it was horseshit. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, 3 minutes in, I thought it was horseshit,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, I was just like, "Oh, this is not horseshit at all."
I think it's because it's because it took itself seriously, but it didn't take the filmmaking. It took the filmmaking seriously, but it didn't take itself too seriously. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yes.
it was absolute brilliance making this any degree of success because it was a stacked up to be a failure, and
It was.
failed to be that.
You did fantastic. I'm really pleased the homework worked.
Yeah, thank you, James. Great film.
Thank you. Thank you.
What are you setting Peter for next week?
Oh, now I'm changing direction completely
Okay.
for you.
So it's
okay?
non-musical
So it's
comedy.
Swing Fan.
It's not musical. It's not a horror. Okay. It's a really this film I'm going to request that you watch and come back to me. Is a fascinating film. Okay, because for the first 5, 10, or almost 10 minutes, you're looking at this film and you go, "This is a TV film. I'm not too sure about the set. I'm not too sure about the production." And as time goes on, you get drawn into this film bit by bit, and eventually, at the end of the film, they go, "This is an amazing film."
Okay.
Okay, so just trust the film. Okay, do not watch this film in two halves.
Okay.
It's a short film. Okay, it's available. I think it's on Netflix or Prime. Nikky's going to confirm that for me in a moment. And the film I'm going to be asking you to watch is The Booth at the End.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
it's a very, very simple plot, but done incredibly well.
Okay.
Now, as I said, I cannot iterate this enough. You'll want to turn this film off within the first 10 minutes. And
I already do.
You'll be cursing my name, okay?
Yeah, already am.
Okay, but trust me, it's worth it. Would you like to let the listeners know when it was released, what the director is, and where they can stream it from?
I'm just trying to look because at the moment I can only find the series.
No, it's definitely a film.
Booth at the End, 2014.
You're asking me as if I know what year it was.
I can only find it's not coming up with a.
Okay, well, in that case, we will come back to our listeners next week.
I'll let you know next week.
Please
after
do.
I found it.
That'd be great. Okay,
To
I'll
be
put you on
fair,
the
I
spot
couldn't
there.
remember what you said. Emilia Pérez was on, so I went through every.
Oh, did you?
Oh, no.
Because I spelt it Emilia EME, not EMI on search.
Yeah, I did that
And
too.
you can imagine me trying to spell it.
Yeah.
That would have been very interesting, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would have been.
So all in all, a good week at cinema, a good week at home.
Yeah, it was a really nice mixed bag again.
I
It's
think
just,
so.
Yeah, and it was a film that I'd waited ages to see, and you absolutely loved. And
I did. I was
was
laughing
a little
all the
bit-
way through it.
I was a little bit disappointed.
I know you
felt-
were.
I was a little bit empty at the end of it.
Yeah.
And then a film that I knew nothing about, this turned out to be an absolute barnstormer.
There you go.
You gotta love it, don't you?
Exactly.
I think I found it. It is available. Is it that one?
That's the one.
Okay, so it's available on Freevee, Amazon Video, Apple TV Plus.
Right.
I've got all of those.
There you go.
Perfect.
Oh, next week I'm going to be talking about The Gorge. Okay, I haven't got time this week, but it's on Apple at the moment. It was released on St. Valentine's Day. It stars Macy Boy from Whiplash,
Yeah.
Miles Teller.
and also the actor from Gambit, the Queen's Gambit.
Anna
Yeah,
Taylor-Joy.
Johnson. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it depicts two assassins on either side of a gorge, and they have been employed as assassins to guard the gorge of what's coming out of the gorge. So it is a horror romance movie.
Yeah. The Cheddar Gorge.
Sigourney
Should be good.
Weaver's in it as well.
She is.
Is she?
I love Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, you do.
Of course he does. How? Oh, sorry. Go on. No, please.
No, that's fine. I was just trying to shut James up.
Oh yeah, me too. How can people get in touch, see us, hear us, watch us?
You tell.
You can leave a comment under our YouTube video.
Yep.
You can contact us on Facebook. You can contact us on Instagram. You can draw on my arm.
Yeah.
That would be. If you're streaming our podcast from one of the streaming platforms, some of them have got a little button that says message. You can message us on that, which comes through as a text message, but it doesn't tell us who you are. So please do or don't tell us if you want to.
That'd be nice.
And please rate, review, and subscribe.
Oh, subscribe.
Yeah.
Next week we might be introducing our rewind section in our looking at films we reviewed this time last year.
Yes. Possibly.
That was good, isn't it?
Depends how
It's
busy.
not that good. I tell you what's really funny is the fact that you kind of made a suggestion to Nikky earlier on that she should maybe suggest that at some point in the future, and then you just drop it as your idea.
I have no idea.
It's like this is an
it's like the James
autocracy.
show. It's just the James show.
Yeah, it's just like Jesus.
I know.
Why do we bother?
I don't know.
Because we love the cinema.
I
It's
think
worth
it's
it.
time to papa.
Subjective.
PC Papyrus.
Have we done everything?
Yep.
Popcorn Pundits. Week 69.
Yes.
In the bag.
Favourite week.
Yes.